being here. My name is Kate Nelligan, for those of you who don't know me. I'm the CEO and founder of Synergy TV and Mindful Media Entertainment. And this is the second Mindful Media Visionary Series, The Actors panel. We did one about a month ago for those of you who were here with the Filmmakers. And I'm going to be introducing you to everyone, and we're going to start shortly, but I just want to sort of share my gratitude that you're all here, because really this is about building community, and the definition of synergy is the whole is greater than the sum of its parts, and really that's what we're creating together. So this is about community, and it's also about really listening to some of the visionaries and trailblazers that are here in the space that have really amazing careers and wisdom to share with us, and really to start to learn and listen to what some of the solutions are for us. So we'll be doing this probably monthly, going through different areas of the entertainment industry. So before we begin, I just want to show you guys a brief sizzle reel of what Synergy TV is. You get a sense. It's funny because we realized we had worked together through the American Film Institute at one point. But really there's a ton of background here. So Sharon's been in so many different shows. The film that I'm excited to see is Middle of Nowhere. So she can probably talk to you a little bit about that. But honestly, her credits go on and on. You'll probably NYPD Blue, Desperate Housewives, one of my favorite shows for a while, One Tree Hill, Monk, Drop Dead Diva. I mean, it's amazing how much work you've done. So, and you're also involved in a lot of things outside of film, supporting women as well. And we'll get into kind of what each of your projects are. So you could go to Kiko's. We'll just go down the line. So Kiko confirmed this event about a few hours ago. I'm so grateful that you're here rounding this out beautifully with 2 men and 2 women. And it was divine serendipity that he is here. So we had a cancellation. We had 2 cancellations. So grateful you're here. And if you guys have not seen Touch, please see it. It's probably one of the best, I'll call spiritual shows out right now. But Kiko's also been in Dexter, Heroes, General Hospital, Port Charles, and has done some film work as well. And he also has some amazing things that he's part of outside of film, one of which is You Inspire Me. So he'll talk to you a little bit more about that. So then Rahi. Rahi's been a huge supporter of Synergy TV for a long time and has helped a lot with this event, so thank you. And he has an amazing background as well, having been in General Hospital, All My Children, Law & Order LA, Scrubs, Crash, Young and the Restless, and next, Mission Impossible 3. He's done film work and TV work. And Rahi is a Kundalini yoga practitioner, and yes, there's another commonality there, and is really just a huge supporter of conscious media and knows really everyone in this space. So thank you for being here. And Sally, thank you so much as well. Sally Kirkland is a Golden Globe winner from Anna, and Oscar nominated as well. Sorry, it's okay.
The theme song.
Yeah.
Right.
Sally.
Sally. And has been in just, over 130 credits. It's just unbelievable. So Days of Our Lives in General Hospital, Valley of the Dolls, JFK, Felicity, Bruce Almighty, another amazing spiritual film. And The Way Shore and Spiritual Warriors, which I really love, and Zeus Garcia has made those films, and through the movement of spiritual inner awareness. Could you what are you most proud of in your career? And that will give us a taste a little bit more of who you are, and whoever wants to go first and jump in.
The question is, what are you
most proud of in your career?
I'll start.
Yeah.
Well, you mentioned it. Anna, I was just doing it with Rahi. I had to transform myself into a Czechoslovakian. And so I had 2 weeks to learn how to say, my name is Anna Bakova. I come from Prague, Czechoslovakia. What you want? I don't want to talk about my personal life. You give me the script. So that was a challenge. I knew I've been acting since I was 10 years old, but no one had ever given me a script and say, become Czechoslovakian. And so I lived in New York at the time, and I'd go to the Heidelberg bar where all the Eastern European, the Germans, the Czechs, the Poles, the Hungarians would all meet and drink, and I would see if I could pretend well enough to be, one of them. I would get in a taxi cab and I would say to the driver, "Oh, I see you come from old country. I come over during Prague Spring, 1968. And then if he let me go on, I knew I'd sort of passed the test. So it was an amazing opportunity to show the craft of acting and to, of course, Meryl Streep had done Sophie's Choice prior to that, and I was inspired by that. And then it only cost $350. I don't know if any, I know Sean's a filmmaker, Sean. I don't know if any of you else are, but it only cost $350,000 to make that film, and we got all the way to the Oscars.
Wow.
And I got nominated for Best Actress. So that in itself made me the most proud of anything in my life. That I got to go to the Oscars up against Meryl Streep and Glenn Close and Holly Hunter and Cheryl and Cher. And Cher won that year. But I got to win the Golden Globe and the Independent Spirit Award and the LA Film Critics Award and the Limited Film Award. And so that would have been my most favorite moment. I also that year got in my church, which Kelly Raleigh is here somewhere, way in the back. She brought me to Kate. She and I are ministers in the Church of the Book of Spiritual Awareness. And I got my soul initiation the same month that I went to the Oscars. So I took my teacher, John Roger, who founded the University of Santa Monica, as my date to the Oscars. So that was it for me.
That's wonderful. Wow.
The way I go about my job, it's a kind of, I guess it's the intention I set when I work on something. I mean, obviously, I do all the homework so that that's not an issue when I'm on the set, but I always want to be the source of light on a set. So, you know, just connecting with people and knowing their names and thanking them, you know, whether it's the makeup person or the craft services person. And it's just kind of a thing that I like to do, to kind of imagine myself as kind of the energy battery of light on whatever project I'm on. So it's more about kind of the way I go about my craft and my career. That's what I like.
Yeah, so your sense of being, that's great. Love it.
Well, I wanted to say what I was going to say, but that sounds so much better. It just doesn't sound better, but it is true. I'm like, wow, that resonates with me too, because that's something that I'm proud of as well, is learning how to be in this career, how to be, because sometimes you're pulled this way, pulled that way, and then you finally settle into your own space, and then it becomes really simple, and you just become really grateful for speaking to the craft services or the producer, and then you say, okay, I have my lines, I'm going to take time with this now. And for me, to add on to that, also proud of learning how to act after, like, I think 11 years after I've started acting. Like, I feel like I'm just now really learning to act again, because it's
First, I want to say what you guys have all talked about is it's valuable. People don't necessarily understand what it means to transform and what it means to be, as an actor, all eyes are on you, at least at some point in the day. So what you come into the environment with really does uplift or tear down that ecosystem. And when we're called the talent, you know, there's it's a double-edged sword, because you're not sure whether that means that you are given a particular license because you're the talent, and some people take it and twist it and are given leeway for, I don't know, just I could lump it into bad behavior, whether it's being late or whether it's not really knowing your lines, or whether it's little things like not hanging your costume up because you think that that's somebody else's job, or not knowing the person's name who is resetting your prop every time, or being gracious if you're a series regular, when someone new comes on the set. Those are things that aren't always, they're certainly not taught in acting school, and a lot of what we do in this business isn't taught, and there is no license for being an actor. There's no test you have to take. There's no standard of accomplishment, of skill set, of knowledge, of qualification, and that's why there's this wild range of what we find on a set. So the fact that you value it is something that is important to tell other people and to pass down. Because I came from stage, I did learn certain etiquettes. Maybe because a stage play happens at a certain moment in time, and everyone has to be pulling together by the time those house lights go down, including the audience. And because I was reared and educated in that world before I started working in film and television, I think the thing that I'm proudest of is learning how to transform into someone else 8 times a week for sometimes years at a time. Understanding what a long run means, how to find your creative juices when you feel like you're going to pull your hair out if you have to step, into that stage door again at 7:30 at night when it's so beautiful and everybody's enjoying a nice dinner on Columbus Avenue. Those things, right? The feeling where, oh wow, it's the same thing over and over again. How will I bring life to this and put the boredom away? That's the actor's job. And I learned that. That was my grad school, was doing a long run of a couple of shows and finding how to source the emotional truth, sometimes just from the feel of the fabric of my costume, to really understand sense memory. And a couple of years ago I played Vivian Lee, who was bipolar. She had bipolar disorder, and a lot of people didn't know it. They thought she was just high-strung, high-spirited. But I had to have what's called rapid cycling behavior, and to understand that being private in public and having that emotional vulnerability was something that I had become secure enough to be able to do. And I think that's something that I can still say I'm proudest of, because it was a high wire act, and I felt supported to become somebody that we all knew, but also to see the degradation of a mind and understand that there is still a dignity that must be maintained within any person who's going through a mental illness. And I took that very seriously. And now I'm kind of specializing in people with mental illness. So I do now. And I think it's no surprise that my husband happens to be a psychiatrist, because he's very helpful. But we need to bring those truths to light, and I feel grateful that I know that it has to be held in sacred space. And